Hey, Wildcat family, Principal Brooks here. Just wanted to talk to you about a couple of things that are going on the campus. First thing I want to do is report to you that since we return face to face, we've had no major issues as it relates to the pandemic, as it relates to the virus. We've really had no issues. Everything has been pretty good so far. The challenge that we are having with a few of our students, not many, but a few of our students, is wearing the mask. And I do understand that it's very difficult to keep that mask on all day. It's difficult not only for the students, it's difficult for the adults in the building to have the mask on all day. However, we have to maintain the safety of everyone in the building. And so we're asking you, parents and guardians, to please have a conversation with your students regarding keeping their mask on. The only time that they are allowed to remove their mask is during lunchtime while they're eating. Now, they are separated during lunch. They're separated 6 feet apart during lunchtime, and they are allowed to take their mask off, obviously, while they're eating. However, once they are finished eating and they are no longer actively eating, they have to put their mask back on. And that's when we seem to be having some of our issues with a few of our students. Again, not many, just a few. And so we're asking our parents to have a conversation. All in all, given the situation, I think we are doing pretty well on our campus as it relates to the virus, the pandemic, and all of that. Now, the other thing that we need to talk about is grades. Now, as the pandemic first hit back in March, springtime, we freely admit as a school community, that the packets that we gave out was in an effort to keep our kids engaged academically, and we didn't really expect a whole lot and didn't demand a whole lot from our students as it related to grades. Really, just participation was really all we were looking for during that time. It was very new, a lot of uncertainty, and so we didn't want to put any undue stress on an already stressful situation. However, we have returned to school, and the fear is, and the thought is that many of our students are still in that springtime mode, and feel like or believe that the grades and the assignments that are being given are not going to count. And so I want to be very clear that we are back in school, and the assignments that students are receiving are going to count for grades. And so thus far, we have received 2 progress reports, and many of our students don't have passing grades. And so what I want to remind parents of and caution all of our students of is that this next report card that's coming up in a couple of weeks is the 9 weeks report card. It's not a progress report, it's a report card, and that will be your final grade for the 9 weeks. That grade is going to be a permanent grade in the students' records. And so, right now, if there are students who do not have a passing grade, I'm encouraging parents to talk with their students. I'm encouraging you to contact teachers. If you have not heard from teachers that your student is not passing, many of our teachers are working with students and allowing them to make up work. Students have a couple of weeks to bring those grades up. But I want to reiterate that the grade that the student receives in a couple of weeks for that 9 weeks report card is going to be a permanent grade on their record. And so I want to encourage all of our students to begin to take these assignments seriously. Many students have not turned in an assignment at all. And so obviously that's not going to be a good thing for the student. And so parents, I'm just asking you to touch base with your students and ask them how they're doing. Have they turned in all of their assignments? Again, check in with the teachers to see what's going on with their students. The final thing that I want to talk about is that I announced earlier in the school year that our school was deemed a free lunch campus. And so every student on our campus receives free breakfast and free lunch. So parents no longer did not have to fill out the free and reduced lunch form. However, there is a form that we do need our parents to complete in order to capture our what's called our at-risk students, in order to then receive funding for our campus for those students. And the funding is used for additional school supplies, for additional curriculum, for different programs that we can purchase with those funds in order to help our students. And so a form was sent out for those students who are face to face. And then there was also an email that went out that had a QR code that you could scan and complete this form. Now, the form does ask for income verification. It does ask for some information, and I know how it is. I was a parent of a student in school, and I didn't necessarily like the idea of giving out my information because I didn't understand what it was and why they needed it. And so I felt like it was kind of an invasion of my privacy, and I didn't want to do that. But now that I'm in the education field and I understand how funding works for students who may not have the resources as other students in other districts, some other districts that may be a bit more wealthier or have a bit more resources available to them, I now understand that this is a way to kind of even that playing field for those students who need those additional resources. So I'm imploring our parents, the community, to please fill out the form. It is not going to be used for any other reason than to identify our students, the number of students or the percentage of students that fall within a certain level of income. And then based on that, the state and the federal government will then send a certain amount of funds to the school based on that percentage. And so we want to know what percentage we have. So again, just asking you to fill out the form, please. And we want 100% of our families to do that, so we'll know for sure where we stand. Thank you guys so much for everything that you do. Please continue to reach out to us if there's anything we can do for you. And I just want to reiterate how well our students are doing, those who are face-to-face, and then those students who are virtual and those that are participating in sports. Thank you all for what you're doing. We're trying to make this as smooth a transition as possible for everyone. And so if there's anything more that we can do to assist in that, please don't hesitate to give us a call. Thank you all so much. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Take care. God bless.